start. Everybody starting at the same place. You can't.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bengi, brought to you by Interactive Entertainment, powered by Oakland Meister. Go ahead and get in tune. We'll weather together with Mr. James Dolan. And we got Mr. James Dime Life himself. We got SasoDolo on the horn. It's been a while. But we back in business, you know what I'm saying? Back in full effect. We got a Zoom call earlier with PLSI. That's the legal shield if you're not hip to it. And so I'm going to go ahead and they muted right now. I told them I was getting it busting, but either way, it was it was today. And so I did the intro, everybody. Mr. James, say hello. Mr. Dolo, say hello. And then we can get right back to the conversation at hand.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
All right, they already know the usual suspects. You guys know who they are. All right, continue. My bad. I'm putting my phone down.
No, we good. So, I think back to what we were saying. So you said you did just get.
He didn't have to do that. Back to what I was saying. Shit.
You had a phone call.
And hold up, this is what happens when you leave your lighters over at the homie spot. Okay. This one was too cold, right?
Let me ask you.
But it's still working a little bit. This one don't fucking work at all.
I didn't even get to watch the slides or the video. Like, as soon as he got into that first slide, our older brother had called me.
No problem. Pretty much everything. Okay, so do you regulate anything, or do you want me to kind of just, or can we I don't know. We don't necessarily need to do a presentation right now. We can set that up later, but it's definitely something that
whatever works, Mr. James, because I can always re-edit the title of this video if you wanted to be like a walkthrough, 5 steps to get started with PLSI, or however you want to do it, bro. Post.
Well, you tell me, Dolo, how you feel? You want me to kind of break it down for you a little bit?
Dolo, you might as well, bro. He's on the phone right now, and we talking about what we're talking about.
Well, okay. Well, I'm just gonna do kind of an off the cuff, not anything professional, but since we're boys or whatnot. So just to start off right off the bat, I'll let you know $30 a month. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna ask you if you were my attorney. So I want you to pretend you're my attorney, okay? So act like you're an attorney, and you're not just an attorney, okay? You're a law firm, all right?
Law firm.
Yeah, because we know attorneys specialize, right? Like doctors. So some doctors are neurosurgeons. My wife just had a tumor removed. She couldn't go to a heart doctor to get that done. She had to go to a neurologist. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we know doctors specialize just like lawyers. And because there's different areas of law. You got criminal law, you got family law, you got different types of law. So you're not going to be just a lawyer. You're going to be a law firm. And I don't want you to just be a law firm in one state. I want you to be a law firm in all 50 states. Because I know the laws are different in every state.
In every state, which it shouldn't necessarily be that way. Like, because it kind of confuses everybody, to be honest with you. Because you can have somebody.
Well, because we're not even a country, bro. Like, we're going to get deeper in this, but we're not even a country.
I already know that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. We're not technically even a country, but keep going.
We're not technically a corporation. The United States is like Africa to a certain extent.
But not to get off track though, but if you're a law firm in all 50 states, because like you said, the laws do change in every state. So, and I want you to practice every area of law. Have an expert in every area. So in case my son is off to college in California, if he has an issue, he contact his law firm in California.
It's busting. Hold on, I'm about to get. Okay, hold on.
So you're going to be a law firm. You're going to be a network of law firms with experts in every area of law. And I want you to cover not only myself, but I want you to cover my wife. Cover my teenage children, my children that are in college, and my younger children. All right. So I want you to take care of my whole entire family. And what I want you to do, I'm gonna tell you what I want you to do for me on a monthly basis. And you're gonna tally this up. And I want you to kind of give me a price of what you would charge me to do this for my family. Okay. Now you obviously already know the price that we charge.
What's wrong with this girl?
Kind of put into perspective. If you were a $100 an hour, $200, $300 an hour attorney. We know tax attorneys charge $300 to $500 an hour. So I want you to provide these services for me and tell me what you would in charge. So first thing I want you to do is whenever I got an issue or I got a question, if I feel like I'm being violated, if I feel like I'm being treated unfairly, if I just want to know what my rights are in any situation, I want to be able to pick up the phone, me or any one of my covered family members, to call you and ask you questions. And I want you to listen to my question, and I want you to give me an answer. You know, whether I like it or not, as long as it's by law, because you know the law, I don't. You know what I mean? But I want to make sure that I know the law, so I'm going to turn to you instead of calling my family and friends or neighbors or whatever, trying to get bad information or going to Google. So I want to know from my law firm what the law is and what my rights are. Any one of my family members can do this on an unlimited basis. And I want you to review all our contracts before we sign them, because I know Oprah Winfrey and Donald Trump and Michael Jordan, they don't sign stuff without the lawyers looking at it first, but they have that luxury. I don't. But with you being my attorney, I want you to provide that service for me, all right? And then also if I get a speeding ticket,
this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I did.
I don't want to have to go to
put
court.
A and I put C and I B in the middle. Goddamn it!
Because you probably go to court with you probably go to golf with the judge or something. So you know, I'm sure you give me a better result. You know what I mean? So take care of all my traffic tickets and all that type of stuff. All right, and do that for all my covered family members. And also, I want you to prepare my will and my wife's will. I want you to update that every year.
Wake that up.
In case something happens,
Alert
I want
a
to
state.
take somebody out or maybe add
Wake
somebody
that
into
up.
the will. You know, I mean, I might.
Niggas die every day. Wake that up.
Increase my income or things I might lose some things. So make sure you update my will and do my living will, my healthcare power of attorney as well, because I know in the case that my wife or somebody, and I just got dealt with this with my wife having a brain surgery. You know, they had us fill out our healthcare power of attorneys, and you know, so we have kind of been slacking on that area, getting our wills done. So we had hurried up and filled out the documents prior to going into the surgery, and I didn't send them to my law firm before, and I had just filled them out thinking everything was good, and we went to the surgery, and thank God we went. It was a success, and she lost her speech for about 2 weeks, and she lost her ability to move her right hand for the first 2 weeks, but luckily that all came back as the swelling and the healing went down. So like I said, thank God that happened. But what was crazy was right before we had left the rehab center, they came and brought me those documents that I filled out prior to the surgery, and they said these documents are now valid.
This shit just look weird in the background. I gotta fix this. I'm sorry, guys.
Kind of late now,
and I'm taking this off.
Thank God
so
everything went well, but if she'd
the
have been in a
ladies,
coma,
yes, I'm coming back grown and sexy on the camera.
Where she couldn't make decisions.
Fellas, clean up your goddamn room.
I don't know what the situation would have been, because those documents that were supposed to be in place were not valid. You know what I mean? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I send them to my attorney so that they will be valid. And I'm not going to have to worry about that. So I'm in the process of doing that right now. And I'm actually on a mission to make sure, because we've lost several loved ones over the past couple months that did not have their wills in place. And
100 by second quarter. We need 100 by motherfucking what? April? We need 100.
Yeah, we're looking at 100 people, their wills taken care of, the living wills and healthcare power of attorneys, because like I said, we've had some loved ones pass away, and they have not been able to access and take care of some of the things as smoothly in regards to the loved one that passed away, because everything's in probate, because they didn't have a will in place. So they have to wait 5 to 9 months for the state to handle what they have to handle, so they can even get access to any of these items or assets or bank accounts or anything.
The state pretty much.
Yeah, the state pretty much determines everything, and I want everybody to know that in Indiana, this is the one state that if you do not have a will in place, that the state determines where your children go, not you. So you can say, oh, my brother, my sister, my cousin, this person is going to take custody of my kids. They already said that they would. Well, when it comes to you not having a will in place, the state is going to take them and put them in foster care until they determine who's fit. You know what I mean? So that's how that goes if you don't have a will in place. So everybody needs to be aware of that, because, there's been a lot of kids that's been bounced around in foster care because, foster care didn't deem it safe for them to go where their family member thought that they would be going. You know what I mean? So, so that's
real. Those are real life horror stories. I know. I'm not gonna put no names out, but I know somebody. She really said she showered 3 times in like 15 years because like the people just wouldn't clean up and shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's definitely tragic when people have to deal with that, and it's really only it only really comes to the surface when it happens to you. So, we talk about these things, and people are like, oh, I don't need attorneys, and I don't use attorneys, but we've just been basically locked out the legal system because, we know that, wealthy people and smart people that can afford it, they have access to law firms and attorneys and legal advice before they make decisions and when things happen to them in their life, they get the assistance that they need, but they spend the money for it. But what this company actually started out of need, not greed, because the person that started this company, he actually got into an accident, had everything in place, but was sued and lost his life savings defending himself. He won the lawsuit, but he was dead broke and bankrupt at the end of it. So he said, I had insurance to cover my car, I had health insurance to cover my medical bills, but nothing to cover the legal bills. So he developed this program, and now it's grown from just taking care of you in a motor vehicle accident to taking care of every area of your life, from all stages, from when you're young to growing up, getting married, and then getting old, and passing and leaving inheritance to your family members. So it takes care of us through our entire life. But to kind of wrap up the presentation real quick. As far as the membership is concerned, like I said, you're going to prepare the will, you're going to prepare the living will, all those documents that I need to have taken care of. You're going to do that for us, including with the membership. And then also, I want you to, if I get audited, I want you to go to the audit with me. Send your best Johnny Cochran tax attorney to the audit with me to make sure that the IRS don't get more than they really should be getting. You know what I mean? So I know you know the laws around that, so I'll let you talk, and I'll just sit there. All right, so I want you to do that for me. And also in a 24-hour emergency situation, if me or anyone, one of my covered loved ones are out 2 o'clock in the morning, they're coming home from maybe a friend's house or maybe an event that they were attending, and they might get stopped by an officer. And my hat's off to any officer, but there are some bad ones out there. So just in case he runs into one of those, and they might be having a bad day, I want you to allow him to be able to exercise his right to remain silent and his right to an attorney by accessing you at any moment of the day. I want him to be able to pick up the phone and call you, and you help him out in that situation. In any situation where he's detained, arrested, questioned, or CPS or child protection services, or anybody is coming to his door trying to serve him with a warrant or trying to ask him any type of question. I want you to be able to get out of your bed, turn on your nightlight and pick up the phone and deal with my situation for me. All right, no matter where I am in the country. Okay, and then so just knowing that. Okay, and anything else that I didn't mention. Okay, any other things? So those are kind of the what ifs and the protect me in my everyday life. But in case of something like divorce, or if in case something criminal happens, or I get caught up with the wrong people or whatever, if I have a criminal case or something that is not covered, I want you to give me at least a discount on your normal hourly rate. I don't want you to cover it under the monthly fee. I just want you to give me a discount of what you would normally charge. Okay, is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. So knowing that, knowing that you're going to pick up the phone and answer my questions and give me consultations, me and my entire family, you're going to review all my contracts before I sign them. You're going to write letters if you need to, make phone calls for me if you have an issue. I actually used the membership because I took my Tahoe in and told them that my transmission was bad. Well, they told me it was something else, and then they fixed that thing, charged me $1,200, and then told me that my transmission was bad after that, and it was going to be $3,500 more. And I said, well, I already said it was a transmission, so I'd feel a lot better paying $3,500 if I didn't already have to pay $1,200. And they went back and forth and said, well, you got to pay $1,200 before you get your car. So I said, well, I got my car, paid $1,200, but it was still broke.
Man, why can I not have had this I wish I would have had everybody at home. I wish I would have had this. I literally had the same. It wasn't the transmission. It was something. So, oh my goodness. See, I didn't even know you could do shit like this. Because I thought I bought it with the light off. I drove it down the street. Light came on. I took it back. They're like, well, you already bought it. So then I'm like, all right, look. Went to the, we got to repair. See, when they say that in-house word, that's when we got an in-house mechanic, but it's not in-house. It's down the street, turn right. Man, don't buy no shit off Pendleton Pike ever.
Nope. Yeah,
talking about no. What you know about Pendleton Pike, Dolo?
But and just like I said, so like I said, my truck was still broke. So I got on the phone, called my legal shield attorney. I said, hey, this is what they're saying. They're not realistic to me. They're saying that, I can't They said, hold on, Mr. Service, don't worry about it. Let me make a phone call. They made a phone call to the dealership. Next thing I know, the dealership's calling me. They said, Mr. Service, before it was James, we can't really help you. Now Mr. Service coming to my office.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so went to the office, like, look, this is what we'll do. We understand the frustration, but we had to fix the other item before we get to the other one. So, I'll tell you what we'll do. The total amount is $3,500. You go ahead and pay for the transmission, which is $2,000. We'll go ahead and discount to $1,500 of labor, and you can get them. We'll put the transmission in. I said, well, I tell you what, if I get the transmission myself, I said, will you still put it in for free? They said yes. So I actually
talk that talk.
Got the transmission from
talk that talk.
They still put it in, so I saved about $2,500.
Talk that talk.
Yeah, just by having my lawyer step in for me. So the membership definitely. So like I said, I want you to do that from anything or any one of my cover members. Make a phone call, write a letter, because I know your word holds a lot more weight than mine. You know what I'm saying?
And even with the TuneCore stuff, Dolo, like they be saying anything, right? Like basically what I was talking to you, Mr. James, earlier about how like the artist reply, the customer service, they basically get back to you when they get back to you. Even if you have like the professional, unlimited everything, they still will just say whatever. But like I started CC and Mr. James, and then now it's like a completely different version. Well, we had to block it because of a primary, major primary artist. Quotation Tory Lane. I'm like, you didn't say none of that before I had CC'd them. Like, you just told me whatever you just told me, and now you can't talk to them the way you talk. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's crazy. So definitely gotta have a lawyer, making those phone calls and writing those letters, because
talk that talk.
They don't get the results. So they did that for me, saving that money. So I want you to do that as part of my membership. Like I said, 24/7 access in case of emergencies. Do me if I get audited for the taxes, take care of that. Cover me for anything else. Take care of my will for me. Give me a discount on other criminal stuff that
When I had that, speaking of that last situation, I called all three of you. I called Mr. James. He got me in contact with everybody else, and then I called you, Dolo. So I'm saying, like, think about this. That you know what I'm saying. The right phone call can change your whole. You might not. Your reality might be the same, but your perception might change how you act in your reality.
Yeah. Honestly, honest with you, if your perception on life changes, honestly, the outlook in which you have your experience changes.
I'm gonna throw another word out at you. Like I think we said perception, perspective, perception. I think one of the things that we talk about a lot is it's kind of your paradigm. It's like a paradigm shift. I mean, your paradigm that you think and your philosophies change. So that's really what it is. As far as kind of getting the concept of this. Really grasping this. USA Today said this looks like healthcare before it became $1 trillion industry. You know what I mean? We got 4.4 million members right now that have this membership, have these apps on their phone. That are using the services.
Yeah, clap that up. One more time. What was the numbers? One more time.
I said 4 million members currently right now in the United States.
Man, clap that up.
And just continuing to grow, and it's literally changed the lives. I mean, it's not even about like the money. It's about the peace of mind and how these. I'll tell you a real quick story about emergency access. Kind of how someone was able to use that. A friend of mine, they actually had I think she was around 12 or 13 years old, but their child was standing out at a friend's house. They went over to the house, met the parents. It was a real nice neighborhood up north, big house, on a nice, piece of land. And the parents were well-to-do, and they had, careers, so everything was good. So the stage night over there was like a slumber party for the kids and whatnot. So they did that kind of like a preteen thing, And then so they went over there, were having their little slumber party, and lo and behold, they had an older brother. The person that lived there had an older brother that was home from college, and apparently they had sold some methamphetamines to an undercover officer at a rave party that they had been to.
Oh, hell
and then when they came home, somehow I guess they had to, maybe follow them, track them, or somehow they followed them back to the house.
No, they got Mr. James. They got invited. Oh, we got some more. We're having an after party after this.
Yeah. So anyway, cops ended up getting, I guess, access to the house where he had lived. So that night there was a raid. So they raided the house during the slumber party. Okay, and they found a meth lab in the basement where the son was cooking up all his stuff. So they had to evacuate the entire house.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Because,
that blow up.
Yeah, exactly. So they evacuated the entire house. All the kids were getting ready to go to the guardian's home, but this 12-year-old had the wherewithal to be able to contact her attorney. Because she's covered. So she called her attorney. Her attorney contacted her parents and said, "This is what's going on. We need to get over there to your house." The cops actually found her hiding in the bedroom, and the attorney advised her to give the officer the phone. So he spoke to the officer and said, "Look, my client's mother's on the way to pick her up. You need to wait with her outside. She's there for a slumber party."
Man, clap that up. Where's the board at? Where's the board? What, man?
She got taken to home, and she got taken home, and all the other kids went to the guardian's home and didn't talk to their parents till the next day.
Yeah, fuck that.
I remember you telling us about that.
No, that was a different one. He was talking about the 46 in Shadeland one. That was the one where it got shot up at.
Okay.
Yeah, don't. Hey, not too much on Mr. James. What?
But that's definitely so. Like I said, it's really just about the impact that it's having on people's lives. And allowing them to, because we all want to live better. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
that mission. So knowing all that, Dolo, and there's actually more to it than that. But just going off of what I said to you. Being a top-notch attorney, and you're not just, the Martindale Hubble, they have a law directory, and they actually rate law firms, and they have an AV rate, or it's like an A to Z or whatever, but AV is the highest rating that you can get as far as a lawyer is concerned. So all of our law firms that are nationwide in Canada, they're AV rated law firms.
VVS's. Come on now. Stop playing, Dolo. Stop playing. Ain't no CVs. Ain't no CZs. It's VVS's. Come on. Stop playing, Dolo.
So, they actually represent one of the Parker Stanberry was one of our law firms in California. They're one of the largest law firms, and I think they represent one of the California football teams out there. I think they got like 2 teams. But one of the teams they actually represent them. So I'm not sure if they still are part of the network.
Hold up, I'm about to mute this real quick. I'm about to mute the podcast. My bad. We had to just politic a little bit off the record, on the record, off the record, we back though.
All right, we back in there?
Yes, sir, we hot.
All right, so like I said, knowing all that, Dolo, what would you charge me on a monthly basis?
The hourly? Oh, I didn't even think about the monthly. I was thinking about the hourly. I didn't even
you can add it up by the hour, because like I said, you're a top-notch lawyer, and you're going to be providing services on unlimited. I can call you, we can talk for 2 hours, 3 hours, an hour. I can call you about 50 different subjects. I can call you about 5, and the rest of my family members can call you about a couple, depending on what they got going on. So you might be busy. So just let me know just throw a number out there. There's no wrong answer.
I was gonna do $170 an hour.
Okay. And how many hours you think you will be, taking for the month? Because I just want to pay you every month. I just want to pay you every month. Just go ahead and take it out of my bank account, because I don't even want to think about it. Because I just want to be able to use it whenever I need it. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to actually be logical and actually think about it. How many somebody actually call a month?
The lawn, the gutters, the painting, the drywall, like everything. What? And some money. What?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is this: have you ever called an attorney, Dolo?
I believe I have, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and if you have, has it been, very, very often or very few times? And when you did you actually get to speak to the attorneys themselves? And how long did you speak with them? And did it cost you any money? And you're just like me when I first seen this, and you're just like everybody else because a lot of us don't, and a lot of us haven't. And a lot of us only pick up the phone and call an attorney when there's something emergency happens in our life.
Like in the moment, you don't never
exactly when it's like we don't know where else to turn. We have to get an attorney now. This is major. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So, like, let me think of a scenario or think of something to put myself in those shoes.
Yeah. Well, the only reason. Let me ask you this: if you knowing that attorneys charge what they charge. And knowing that, they specialize. So if you knew that you could pick up the phone and call an attorney and actually know that you're going to get your question answered no matter what topic it is, and you're going to not have to worry about how much it's going to cost, and you can talk for as long as you want, ask any question, would you pick up the phone and call more than you ever have?
I believe yes. Not only myself, people would actually call more to actually just find out about laws and just things in general so they can avoid certain situations and problems that come up that they don't necessarily have to put up with.
Exactly. And that's the thing, like, before Legal Shield, there wasn't really anywhere anybody could turn unless they knew they could call an attorney, but they had to check the book before they could check their rights. You know what I'm saying? They had to check their bank account. It's like, because, to be honest with you, before I had this membership, I tried to call an attorney and talk about starting a business. And they said, sure, come in at 1 o'clock tomorrow. I thought, awesome, come. Showed up at 1 o'clock. They're like, okay, Mr. Serviss, we're about to let you into the lawyer's office. Just want to let you know before you go in there, we're going to start the clock. Sure, you walk in, it's going to be this much money an hour. And, as soon as you start asking a question, we'll start the clock, and then depending on how long you're in there, we'll bill you afterwards. I said, so before I even ask the question, I'm already going to be charged. She said, yes, we charge by the hour for the consultation. I said, okay. And the free consultation that they said was free was me talking to the assistant and giving her my information so that she could relay it to the attorney, and then I can set up the appointment. You know what I mean? So that was the free consultation. I actually get to speak to the attorney. So I went to the attorney, and that's where she's going to charge me. So I literally had to walk out of the office because I didn't have the money to afford that. I didn't think I was going to be charged immediately right then and there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm broke. I'm trying to start a business. So, you're
like when you was telling me monthly, like I was already added up like how much it would be a month. Like say for instance, 5 hours a day, and that's like every day of the month. So you got 28. So I did February. You got 28 days in February, 5 hours. You spending at least $23,000 that month,
right?
Which is a lot. So that's why I was like going by the hours instead.
Exactly.
It's more logical for people.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy is no matter if you'd have said 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, you'd have been right.
What did you say, nigga? What did you say, nigga? What did you?
That's right. Because basically, you have wealthy people right now that are spending that on the just have a lawyer on retainer.
But think about it though, like either way, like that you was right. Because let's say it's proportionate, right? Let's say you make $1 million, you got to spend 20,000. Okay, that you got 980,000 reasons to be free. Yeah, and like let's say even like if I have $1, let's say I have $10. If they say you got to give up 10 of those dollars to stay free tonight, I'm gonna just find a way to be free after this $10 I give up. Pause. It's just this is the only thing. This is a funny thing. I think I just came up with this like just now, just talking to you guys or listening to you guys. The only thing money can really buy is your freedom. In my mind, that's the only thing that's money actually is worth something. Either freedom from your family, or freedom for your family, or for your friends, or whatever, or freedom for yourself. Not really freedom for yourself, but or just freedom in general. That's the only thing that has value with money.
Well, you want to know what money really buys you? You're exactly right. You know what I mean, Mr. Curtin. The time aspect is I think what it really buys you. I mean, it's like you said, you're with your family, with your friends. Is that time, money? You trade this amount of time, and you get this much money. You know what I mean? So literally, you almost have people are trying to make this money. Why? So they can buy back their time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one thing that once you spend it, you don't ever get it back. You
But I'm saying you could. One thing is wake this up. And I gotta get a new drop. I'm gonna get that wake that up drop. You still control your like even when I had like a 9 to 5, I never had a crazy 9 to 5. Well, that's not true. I either had 2 crazy ass like warehouse jobs, or I had no time, or I had like the McDonald's gig where I worked like 5-6 hours a day, like every day, but I'd have like the rest of the day. So you don't got to sell all your time.
I'm gonna click over and take this call really quick. I'll be right back.
All right, well, hold on, Mr. James. Just sign off real quick. We can get back another time because we damn near hit 30 minutes already. So one more time, Mr. Dime Life in the building. Dime Life ENT, Mr. James Serviss with the PLSI. Go ahead, get in tune.
Check it out. If anybody wants to check out any information about what we talked about, definitely go to Serviss, JSERVISS.wearelegalshield.com. Check the membership out. Check the services out.
One more time, J Serviss.
JSERVISS.wearelegalshield.com.
.wearelegalshield.com. And Dolo, one more time for you, man. Go ahead and tell them where you're coming from.
You coming from the Met, Columbia, South Carolina.
You heard. All right, it's Bengi Cinos, brought to you by Interactive Entertainment, powered by Oakland Hittermeister. We just talked about that. It's been another day, another 24. I appreciate you guys listening, sticking with us. And if you haven't heard, check the stats. The podcast is now a top 200 podcast in the United States. Go ahead and give it up for that. Until next time, love.
Love.
All right, Dolo. You got me safe.